Welcome back to First Take. Yesterday, Shams Charania reported that the Bucks are open to listening to trade offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The two-time MVP is essentially on an expiring deal with next season guaranteed and a player option in 2027, giving him leverage in any trade discussions. The Bucks hold the 10th overall pick in this upcoming draft that could be used as a foundation for a potential reset. Now, Jay, last week you posted about who the Bucks should trade Giannis for. Giannis for Jaylen Brown, straight up. Why not? Stephen A., do you think the Celtics should be open to trading Jaylen Brown for Giannis?
I do. I really do. But it's not as simple as, Giannis being, when healthy, being one of the dominant players to have ever played this game. He played 36 games this year. It was a bad year for him. He still averaged 27 and 9. That's who we're talking about here with the greatness of Giannis Antetokounmpo. But there's not the only reason that I think that you do this. I think you do this because other than Cater, who do you have if you're the Boston Celtics in terms of your front line? You gonna bring us Luke Garza? You gonna bring us somebody like that? What are you gonna do? Okay, you need more than that, right? Secondly, the reliance on the three-point shot, the living and the dying with the three-point shot. If you're Joey Mazzulla, that has to change. There really does. You don't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson as your backcourt. You can't just live and die with the three like that, which is what the Boston Celtics did. I think that's problematic. Number 3, though, is Jaylen Brown and what we've been talking about over the last week. When you are 2 years removed from being a champion and being an NBA Finals MVP, and 2 years later, when you're playing without Jason Tatum for about 62 games, and you go to the postseason and you get bounced out in the first round, it's the Boston Celtics, the most storied franchise in the history of basketball with 18 championships. Never have they lost a 3-1 lead until just now. And it was with Jason Tatum on the bench in Game 7. And Jaylen Brown was the bus driver. And you lost, and you go on the air inside of 24 hours and calls this your favorite season. I don't know how you come back from that. I think if you're the Boston Celtics and you have an opportunity to pair Giannis with Jason Tatum, you do it. For an abundance of basketball reasons, to change your style of play and and stuff like that. But also, Jaylen Brown clearly loves driving the bus. Let him drive somewhere else. That's what I think.
Amron, go ahead.
I'm torn on this topic because we got to think about this. I totally agree with what you said 100%. We actually talked about that last week. Why would you go on the air and say that? You're causing confusion. Like you said, less than 24 hours getting bumped saying that this was my favorite season, best season, however he worded it. It just didn't look good. Then Brad Stevens has to come out and say we have a great relationship and so on and so forth, which I don't believe the Celtics organization, even though Brad Stevens wasn't the GM at the time, I don't believe nothing they say when it's loyalty to players. I see what they did to Isaiah Thomas when his hip was hurt. And God bless the dead, his sister passed away, and Kyrie Irving became available when they said, thank you for your services. We appreciate you going about your business. So as far as the Celtic organization and loyalty, I don't believe anything that has to do with loyalty when it comes to the Celtics. But as far as this topic is concerned, I'm torn because regardless of what anybody says, even though they were down last year when they lost to the Knicks, that's when Jason Tatum got hurt. So they didn't get to finish that series out. This series this year, even though they lost to the Sixers, Jason Tatum wasn't playing the whole time. The last time we seen a healthy Jason Tatum, along with Jaylen Brown, they actually won a championship. So I don't know if you want to split this up right away because we know when both are healthy, they have the potential to win a championship. But when you have the opportunity to get Giannis, you don't want to also miss out on the opportunity to get Giannis. You have to think, though, is this where Giannis wants to be? So if you trade him, you have to make sure you trade and sign him. We don't know if Giannis wants to be in Boston. He's buying houses and looking at houses in New York. Now, if New York wins the chip, I don't think they're going to want Giannis. But I'm really torn. It's damn if you do, if damn you don't, because I don't want to split this up knowing that last time we seen both of these players healthy on the court together, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, They won a championship.
Actually, the last time we saw them together healthy on the court, they were going down 3-1 to the Knicks.
They didn't lose. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
I started this off, man. I started this off.
It's the truth, Cameron.
Stevens, this is the truth. But this is what I'm saying. I started my soliloquy off with they were down in the series. This is what y'all do. You look for more reasons. Oh, I don't know if Cam said that. Let me make sure we add on to the point. I said they were down in the series. So go ahead, Jay.
Cam, can I say this? So I said this last year, and I don't think it caught any traction because I think about these type of things when it comes to sports, right? So, you live down in great areas where, if you were spending time in South Florida, spending time in Europe, you get a chance to go on vacation. You can do a variety of different things, right? Go anywhere in the world. I laughed when I saw Giannis in Midtown in New York with the baby stroller and everybody just walking around. I was like, damn, okay, like this feels pretty obvious to me where homie want to be. And then he went from New York to the Bay and did the same thing in the Bay. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll push back just a tad. And Stephen, I'd be curious to hear your opinion on this. Look, the Jaylen Brown, Giannis thing, that makes sense to me, right? That's a swap. If the Knicks come up short, where do you go in this arms race in the Eastern Conference?
So short meaning they don't make it to the finals.
Or let's say they make it to the finals.
And then they lose.
Let's say they lose 4-1. And you still feel...
Let me tell you where it gets tricky, Jay. If you told me Giannis was healthy.
But wait, on that point, Giannis has played 84% of the regular season throughout his career. Right. You know what Jaylen Brown has played? 78%. I just want to combat this narrative around Giannis not being healthy.
But I'm not talking about over his career. I'm talking about this past season.
Well, this year also, he tried to come back, though, Stephen A. He tried to come back now. Yeah. And the Bucks kind of hindered him on coming back.
But it makes you nervous when you see the calf because, you're concerned about the Achilles. You know what they say about the Achilles. Once you suffer that injury, you'll never be the same over the course of 82 games. Now, Kevin Durant has debunked that for the most part, and we get that. But nevertheless, that's something that they say. My issue with Jaylen Brown is not really an issue. The brother was an MVP candidate. He was an all-world player this year. He proved he could be a number one option for anybody and that he deserves it. He deserves our praise in a lot of different ways. But again, to come out after you've been, listen, Boston fans, they ain't going to forget that. To come out after losing a 3-1 series lead and giving that up and getting bounced out in the first round, and less than 24 hours later to call that your favorite season, clearly you got other stuff on your mind. You clearly have other stuff on your mind. And then when you look at Boston and how they're bereft of real big-time talent on their front line, even though I love, their center Cater, to have somebody like Giannis, and then you got a Jason Tatum, somebody, you're not as reliant on the three-point shot to live and die with it as you have to be with the personnel that they have. And that's why I say you make the move.
I agree with you on that. Are you trying to detract me away from the sentiment that Giannis being with the Knicks is not a thing anymore?
No. What I'm saying to you is I'm not running from it. I would give up damn near anything for Giannis in New York City. And I love me some Karl Anthony Towns. And I'm very proud at how Mikal Bridges has resurrected himself. But am I giving both of them up for a healthy Giannis? Hell to the yes. I ain't going to lie to you. And I love me some Karl Anthony Towns. But I'm not giving Giannis? Please, I wouldn't hesitate. Because to me, when healthy, he is one of the top 5 players on the planet Earth.
Agreed.
He's good for 30 and 12 a night.
I say that's my whole point. Like, he shouldn't be off the table. Like, this is an arms race. We all know this 24/7. And where you were this year, even though it's been progressing the right way. Now, look, you win a championship, fine. But at some point, you need to make those decisions where you say, this current cast of teammates that we have, is this good for a long run? And if you're the Knicks, you got to think about that long term.
It does feel like, though, there's like unfinished business with the Knicks. Like, we're still in the middle of this thing. Like, they're playing their best basketball right now, going through Karl Anthony Towns, going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, this doesn't feel like this should be a conversation right now. The Boston conversation does make more sense because every year we're having this conversation about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And it did feel like when he went on that podcast, Jaylen Brown was trying to tell us something. Like, he was trying to tell us maybe this isn't working the way you guys think it's working.
It did feel that way, but we don't know definitively. What we do know is this. As great as Jaylen Brown is, and he is great, he ain't worth Giannis straight up. If you gonna get Giannis to Boston, you talking about a Pritchard or somebody, you talking about a couple of picks along with Jaylen Brown. You're not trading Jaylen Brown straight up for Giannis and getting Giannis to Boston. Milwaukee is going to demand more than that. Let's get that straight.
He was an MVP candidate this year.
Shay, I want to add to your point. You're totally right. The Knicks just swept Philadelphia by 2 billion points. Stephen A. wants LeBron James. He wants Giannis. He wants whoever he can get. Let's see where the Knicks go. This is what I'm talking about.
You didn't know that about me?
This is exactly all over the place.
Bro, listen, do you understand? See, it's people. This is forgivable with most people. But Jay is from Jersey. You're New York. I mean, the fact that I have to explain is so insulting. I can't believe y'all. Listen, do you know? Listen, man, the New York Knicks. You got Zion and John Morant out there coming into the draft at the time. What the New York Knicks get? The third pick. Not the top two, the third pick, which ended up being R.J. Barrett.
He's still playing better than everybody in that draft right now.
That's right now he is. That's true.
No doubt about it. Everybody in that draft right now.
I'm glad you brought that up because he is. In Toronto, he's better than Ja in Memphis, better than Zion in New Orleans right now. But at the time, I'm just talking about our luck. The New York Knicks, Steph Curry is the 7th pick in the draft. What pick do the New York Knicks have? The 8th. This is the kind of suffering that we have had. And for you to be a native New Yorker and for you to be on national TV, see, y'all, like you disassociate yourself with New York. This is the betrayal. See, New York is everywhere. Understand, Cameron, it is what it is, right? Let me tell y'all something. You understand? Y'all got to get at him. You can't let him betray us this way. Shay is different. She's a Chicago native. We know where she coming from. It don't matter. You're a native New Yorker, because you damn sure ain't have a team we're talking about in New Jersey. Come on, man. I mean, the level of betrayal, the absence of feeling and associating yourself with the suffering, it's total betrayal. It really is.
The Knicks betrayed me as a New Yorker. That's who's been betrayed, me.
Okay. That's why he's wearing Boston.
We're not talking about the past. We're not here to talk about the past.
All right.
He's a Spurs fan. He's a little bit of everything. All right, coming up here in first take, it was the elbow that helped.